as we talked about that word innovation, I thought, how can I better bore the audience? I'll speak again. So, as we talked with Dr. Entebbe and with Dr. Awashi, we are also going to hear from Dr. Justin Sherfey. Innovation, that word we keep bringing up, is interesting. He is the first doctor, as a doctor of osteopathic medicine, to be allowed into Canada. And on top of that, he paved the way for every future DO to be allowed to do fellowships in Canada and internationally. So paving the way for future doctors is nothing new to him. He's also the medical director for the Palmdale Regional for the Orthopedic and the Total Joint Program. And his conversation is going to be about the total shoulder. And on top of that, we have Dr. Thomas Nasser. He is two different things. So besides a really great guy, he's the medical director for the acute rehab, the rehab institution at Palmdale Regional. And talk about innovation. As a pain management provider, and his history with being physiatry and being interventional pain management, he's doing things that nobody else in the valley is doing. Besides caring for his patients, unlike any other physician I've seen before, he is doing spinal stimulators. He is doing pain pumps. He is doing things that are outside of the box that are changing patients' lives. I was able to recently see a patient who walked in hunched over for a minor procedure called the Vertiflex, and there's a module I'm sure we'll talk about. The person could not stand up, and what was really funny was, as he was leaving, I walked by and asked, "How did your surgery go?" And he's like, "I don't know, I don't feel any different," but he's standing straight up. So I looked at him and I was like, really? So it was interesting to see him again hunched over with a walker and walking straight without a walker, and revolutionary things. And as we switched topics a little bit back to Dr. Sherfey, it's interesting because I was updating their profile on Providence's website because we also work at two different hospitals, Henry Mayo and Holy Cross. I got to see all the specialty he does. So sports medicine, 1. Total joints, 1. And it specializes all the classes. Pediatric orthopedics, 1. And I went through a whole list of services he provides that no other physician besides Dr. Entebbe does in the area. So Dr. Entebbe did not have to bring a person who would basically be taking business away, but he understood that AVORS is a bigger organization than just 2 physicians. And as they've grown to now 12, our goal is to grow to 24 and to be the largest orthopedic area in the Antelope Valley, in the San Fernando Valley, in the Santa Clarita Valley. And as we're growing, we're trying to add providers who we never have to worry about. Providers who, when you see them, you realize this is a provider who's going to change your life, and for the better, right? So one of the things we're looking at as we talk is Dr. Justin Sherfey is going to talk about total shoulders, and then Dr. Nasser afterwards is going to conclude. He's going to talk about the advancements and the things that he's doing in pain management. I can't thank you enough for being here. It's very humbling as an executive to realize that the number one thing in our practice is the patients. Nothing else matters. I've worked at other medical practices where I have to discuss with the doctors that money doesn't matter, it's the patient care that matters. And when I started here, the provider started that conversation with saying, whatever happens to AVORS, Antelope Valley Orthopedic and Rehabilitation Specialists, patients come first. And that is something that I don't see in other places. And I'm very, very proud to be working alongside these providers. One of the things that happens is sometimes you may have to wait. I had a conversation a week ago where a patient was a little frustrated. They waited an hour and a half to see our provider. And as I talked to them, I said, let me ask you one question. When did you call to schedule that appointment? And she said, yesterday. So I said, where else would you be able to call and say, I need an orthopedic consult, and have a physician say, it may wait a bit, but I will see them tomorrow. And that is one of the revolutionary things I also find amazing about AVORS. Bring a book. But not only do you have the best physicians in the entire area, but they don't put patients last. And I'll turn the time over to Dr. Justin Sherfey.